Good, whatever the fuck time it is for you, shitlords and shit ladies of the internet. I'm Jeff, hamster in a man suit, for the duration. Let's talk Gamergate. I talk about some of the other stuff I'm working on or some of the stories I'm reading, but every time I fucking pick up a book, pull up my phone and check Twitter real quick, or every time I get on a fucking computer to write, I'm on fucking Twitter. So let's talk about fucking Gamergate. Uh, I'd say let's discuss, but let's be honest, any YouTube video is basically a lecture series. Because the best you can do is comment down below, and you don't even know if I fucking check those, or find me on Twitter and throw a rock at me. So, what the fuck? But let's talk middle ground. This is this is becoming an increasingly controversial topic in Gamergate, and it's frustrating to someone like me who actually has a tendency towards neutrality and things like that. Like I was watching Main Event, watching other things. But let me begin. It's going to be a little rambling, so I apologize, but I don't, because it's going to be. Um, I tend to be devil's advocate. When a friend brings up an argument, I tend to take the opposite side. It's actually a massive pain in the ass to work with me on any kind of project where a decision has to be made, by and large, because unless I know ahead of time that you want input on a decision, I will counter your statement. You know, it's just my nature. It's Nazis were the worst scourge of humanity. Well, they actually did a lot of good health programs and things like that. The Holocaust was fucking terrible, but the people who survived had decent fucking health care and fairly orderly society. Granted, when you cut like a fucking third, fourth of the population out, society tends to straighten right the fuck up because they don't want to be the next quarter gone. But uh, it's my nature, and that's the hardest part with Gamergate is I can't understand, I can't fathom the other side. No, not from the harassment angle, because it's not about harassment. I'm not harassing anyone. I'm not. No one I've seen harasses anyone. Now, I've seen some people who are a little skeevy. There's one person who hits on any female who ends up in her Twitter feed, and I'm just a little skeevy. But then people are like, well, it's harassing to hit on people. It's like it's only harassing if you didn't like it, and that's actually kind of insulting. That's always been my problem with the whole like, well, he hit on me, and that should be sexual harassment. If you thought he was cute, you wouldn't have minded. Therefore, it's not sexual harassment. You can't double fucking standards. You can't pick both. It can't be harassment if you don't like if they're not cute, and not harassment if they are cute. It's middle ground. It's both. It's neither. And there's of course the fucking I love Internet Aristocrat. I love King of Pole. But they did start on fucking 4chan, and as part of their lexicon. And I'm sorry if this is going to offend anyone in Gamergate, but let's be honest. We adopt the lexicon of the people we hang out with. We adopt their verbiage. We adopt their word usage. It's why cunt isn't a fucking big deal in England, is because everyone fucking says cunt as far as I can tell. No one gives a shit. Whereas here, my God, people will shit themselves out their fucking ears if they hear it and just scream about the children. Won't you think of the children? And so, yeah, Internet Aristocrat and King of Pole use autism as autistic references as insults, because that's the lexicon they have. You can tell by the way they use it and by the way they talk, and especially by the way they talk to autistic people. They don't mean it as autistic people are bad. They just mean as what the fuck, dude? It's another fucking term. Now, granted, it's a term. If we're gonna call the other side on it, it's a term we shouldn't use. That's my feeling on it. Is again, we can't be offended if they use autism as a slur. If we have people who are prominent and use autism as a slur without getting called on it. It sucks for people who are like, well, we should never have to police our tone, but at the same time, don't call it the other side. It's simple as that. Now, if you have someone in the media, if like a fucking reporter, a journalist and game dev calling people autistic, well, that's different because they're a fucking public persona. They're not. They're trying. They make a living off of their identity, and so it's a different kind of goddamn deal. They make a living off of their who they are, so who they are should matter. Sam Biddle calling for bullying should matter because he makes a living off of being Sam Biddle and writing about things. It's simple as that to me. But middle ground. The thing that Gamergate has a problem with, and anti-Gamergate really has a problem with, anti-ethics. I've just adopted the anti-Gamergate term because no one fucking knows what I'm talking about when I say anti-ethics, because apparently I am not good at putting a word in the fucking popular lexicon. But anti-ethics, anti-Gamergate, has a real problem with middle ground. But what is it? What's the middle ground here? Because, like I said, the argument to me, and to a lot of people I talk to, it's about ethics. You're either ethical or you're unethical as a journalist. You either want your journalists to be ethical and behave with integrity, or you don't. So, what's the fucking middle ground? Well, the middle ground is you're not a fucking journalist, and you don't fucking use their media. Adobe, fucking Mercedes-Benz, fucking Jaguar, fucking BMW, fucking Intel. They're not journalists, and they have no stake in their media. They just exist and want to reach customers. That's what they want to do. Celebrities just exist and want to reach customers, want to reach people with their product, which is their persona. So the companies, the corporations, the evil corporations, are pulling out of sites that are shitting on people. Sam Biddle declares bullying. His editor-in-chief backs him up. So Adobe pulls. Mercedes-Benz pulls. And then Sam Biddle apologizes. And then Gawker drops an article about how we beat the shit out of them because we're all just fucking fascists now. Don't fascists generally control the media? And then, of course, Kotakugon's like, oh, Gamergate's right-wing leadership's been outed, so they're going to be dead and gone any day now. It's just a couple people on Twitter just fucking making noise now, but their right-wing leadership's been taken care of. It's like, really, Don? You know, but it's a pretty big windmill you're calling down on that, because we don't really have a right-wing leadership. And here's the thing. Here's an important thing. Here's an important thing to remember, Gamergate. We have found, within 2 weeks of Gamergate, we found the fucking Game Journal Pros leak. Milo Yiannopoulos? I think I'm getting better with that. Found the Game Journal Pros leak that showed the potential evidence of collusion, and we're just finding more and more as time goes on. And they're still not releasing the rest of the things to public consumption, which means there's more to find. Ralph Retort just found that Nathan Grayson, the guy Zoe Quinn was fucking in April, who gave favorable press to her game and her game jams, but didn't review it. I will concede he did not review it. He just gave it favorable press in several of the articles he wrote. He's listed as a game dev as early as 2013, so her response is, well, he's listed in the credits as of 2013. Her response is, he's just a beta tester, and his response is, I was never a beta tester. So, what the fuck? We're not, there's no evidence of conspiracy. But here's the thing. I keep hearing that we're a right-wing conspiracy. So, are the journalists admitting they just don't know how to fucking do research on the internet? Or are they admitting that a bunch of fucking gamers, misogynist, neckbeard, basement-dwelling, retard, cishet fucking nerds are better at doing journalism than them? Which one is it? Are we better? Are we better? Not we, because I'm not finding any of this shit. But like, fuck, is Camera Girl better at doing journalism than the entire staff of Kotaku and Polygon and Gawker and Vox and the Washington Post and MSNBC? Because none of them have found any evidence that there's actually any actual evidence that there's actually a conspiracy at the heart of this, that there's some right-wing fucking group. So is this group just so fucking Freemasons, Illuminati, goddamn fucking Rosicrucian level of secrecy keeping that they can conceal this forever? Or are these guys just so bad at their job that they can't do it? I mean, what's the admission here? There's all this evidence that we'll find it sometime. You know, it's like, fuck, the United States government can't keep conspiracies under wraps, and they have a spy agency. But we're just all evil people. And that's why we can't have middle ground in this, apparently, is because it's between ethics and non-ethics. The journalists want to maintain their status quo. They want to maintain their cronying, elbow-rubbing, buddy-buddy bullshit. And we don't. And the problem now is they'd like us to stop. Stephen Totilo went on Kotaku in Action and basically asked, how can I stop this? They want to stop Gamergate, not by, you know, we will break you down, but they want us to just kind of shut the fuck up. Just go away and shut up. But to do it, they're going to have to admit that they're fallible, and that destroys the entire structure of this dogmatic idea that white men are all gamers. All gamers are white men, and they all hate women. Because that's their entire dogma. Their entire dogma is predicated on the idea that they are the defenders of women and minorities. They have to admit that not your shield is women and minorities who don't want their defense. They have to admit that they're wrong about something. And they're the heroes of their story. They've built this entire illusion that they're their own heroes. And the moment they give that up, they have no meaning to their jobs anymore because they don't like games. And they're not journalists. So what the fuck are they? They're preachers. They're rude, drunk, shithead preachers. So preachers, in my experience. Your mileage may vary with religious people. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who are trying to create a religion without faith. Well, with faith, without supernatural elements. And we're now the supernatural element. They've got a devil now. The problem is the devil's got proof that the commandments are goddamn fucking bullshit. Man, that got fucking tortured for a minute there. Basically, they're calling us evil because they have nothing else to go against us anymore. All they've got is celebrity friends that they can tout out and try to shame us into silence and to shame us into shutting up. So talk louder. Make your own YouTube videos. Scream it from the fucking heavens that we're not gonna put up with their bullshit anymore. Because all they can do now is try to shame us. And I'm not ashamed of who I am. Are you? Because they seem to be. They don't want it fucking out there. And have a good fucking day. And don't ever shut up. Don't ever let them silence you.